Winter is definitely upon us. We're entering snow season, and of course the all-wheel drive capability of a vehicle is very important. So we're gonna put this Grand Highlander through the TFL slip test, which is a controlled environment where we get various wheels stuck on purpose to see how the all-wheel drive system and the four-wheel drive system responds to get us unstuck. And the first test is the front wheel slip test. So both front wheels are stuck in the rollers, and the rear axle is going to have to engage to get us unstuck. Now, the Grand Highlander we're driving today is a rather interesting one. This is the Hybrid Max, and what that means is we have both gasoline and electric powertrain. So up front we have a 2.4 liter turbo 4-cylinder that makes 265 horsepower on its own, and then there's an electric motor in between the gas engine and the 6-speed automatic transmission. And then for the rear axle, we have another electric motor, and there's no drive shaft that connects the front and the rear wheel. So that rear motor is going to have to engage to get us unstuck. So here's the procedure. We back into the rollers, we let the vehicle settle into the groove. We're in neutral, then we go into drive. Nice gentle throttle application like you would if you're getting unstuck in some snow. Front wheels spin, but the rear wheels were basically engaged right off the bat. A lot of torque delivery with just a little bit of throttle, pulled us right down. The Toyota Grand Highlander competes in a very competitive class against vehicles like the Chevy Traverse, the Ford Explorer, the Dodge Durango. On the smaller side, maybe folks will cross-shop this with vehicles like the Hyundai Palisade or Kia Telluride. So there's a lot of vehicles in this class, but Toyota is bringing the space. Behind the third row of seats, Toyota says you can fit up to 7 standard carry-on bags, about 21 cubic feet. Third row folds down very easily. Got a little lever here, pull the lever. The headrest will fold automatically, and then with the third row folded, you're looking at 58 cubic feet. And if you want to fold down the second row, well, then you're looking at 98 cubic feet worth of space, which I believe is more than the Sequoia. So even though, you know, on paper it's smaller than the Sequoia, in practice it's got more room. Next up is the diagonal slip test. So the right front wheel is stuck, the left rear is stuck, and the other two are on the ground. A very common situation off-road in the mud, but also super common in the snow. Think you're driving up a snowy curb, for example. This happens a lot. And we're going to see how the traction control system works to brake the spinning wheels to get us unstuck. Now, we have a number of different drive modes in this Grand Highlander. We're going to start out in normal mode, like you drive it every day. And then if we get stuck, we can start playing with some mode buttons. Into drive, gentle accelerator. Oh, very impressive. So even in that very off-kilter situation, brakes engaged, pulled us down. You could hear a little bit of brake action. Very good results so far. On to the next test, which gets much harder. Stepping into the second row of this Grand Highlander. Now this is the fully loaded platinum trim with all the bells and whistles. It's very well equipped. We've got captain's chairs back here with a fold down armrest. These do have a lot of reclines. So you can fold back, get comfortable for those road trips. The MSRP on this car, $59,878, which is a lot of money, especially for a Toyota branded vehicle, but you do get a lot of features. Even second row passengers get heated and ventilated seats, which is a very premium feature. Now let's hop into the third row of the Grand Highlander and see what that has to offer. This next test is going to kick it up a couple notches. This is the 3-wheel slip test. Both left wheels stuck. The right rear stuck, only the right front is on the ground. A really difficult test, harder than you'd probably find in the real world. But that's the point. We're out here to really push the limits and see what these vehicles can do. So, nice and settled, normal mode, traction control on like you drive it every day. Come on, Toyota. Oh, great result. So a little bit of throttle application, could feel the wheel spinning, could feel the traction control engaged, and it actually pulled us down with little difficulty. Very impressed with that, even in the normal mode. All right, so the action to get into the third row. pull one lever to fold the seat, pull another to slide it forward, a pretty high floor. And then when you get back here, you might notice it's pretty bolt upright, but do not fret because I can actually recline the third row quite a bit too. Get nice and comfy back here. I'm 6 feet tall. Headroom is just about adequate with the seat reclined. A couple cup holders, USB-C ports. It's actually a very usable third row, even for a fully grown adult. It's not bad. All right, now for the final, the hardest test. Both front wheels are stuck. The left rear is stuck. Only the right rear is on the ground. The rear axle is less dominant than the front because it doesn't have the gasoline engine powering it. Let's see if that one rear wheel can pull us down. So far, we haven't had to engage rock, dirt, snow, no special modes. Very impressed so far. Wow, what a little beast! You know, the Toyota all-wheel drive system used to really struggle on some of the older models because the rear motor just wasn't powerful enough. Toyota has clearly gone in a new direction with this new generation of, especially the Hybrid Max powertrains. I'd love to test in a future video the standard hybrid and the gasoline Grand Highlander to see how those compare, but at least this Hybrid Max system is definitely up to the challenge, at least in a controlled environment. And now we're gonna see what happens when we get it out in some dirt. As we step inside the Grand Highlander, we're greeted by a 12.3-inch digital display with, of course, wireless Apple CarPlay. You got your user profiles in the screen. Pretty simple, pretty easy to use, pretty fast as well. And then below that, we have physical controls for the climate control, which I love to see. I love to have physical controls for heated seats, ventilated seats, our auto climate. 2 vents down here. We do have a full 360-degree camera with surround view as standard in this platinum trim. And then we also have USB-C ports, generous cup holders, and lots of storage space throughout. So very usable cabin. Some of the plastics, a little cheap. I could use a little bit more color in this particular spec. We do have some kind of bronze accenting, which looks good. A lot of black in this particular color of interior, but overall, it's a very nice interior. And it's got the full suite of Toyota Safety Sense with, of course, your lane centering, your blind spot monitoring, automatic high beams, that kind of thing. That all comes standard. Now we're off-road today at Tumbleweed Ranch. This is the Andres Pit course, and of course the Grand Highlander is not meant to be a hardcore off-roader, but it is an SUV with off-road drive mode and 8 inches of ground clearance. So we're going to put it through some light off-roading to see how the all-wheel drive system performs controlled environment compared to the real world. Now we're going through the new and revamped trenches course, which are these divots cut into the earth, which get various wheels up in the air, and we're going to see how the all-wheel drive system works in this tricky situation. And then David went ahead and actually cut these holes nice and deep, so we're really going to get this vehicle on 2 wheels. Now, one other cool thing I forgot to mention about the Highlander, which is great, specifically the Grand Highlander with this Hybrid Max can tow up to 5,000 pounds, which is actually pretty good when you compare that to the other Highlanders. Like the standard Highlander Hybrid is rated at 3,500, so you get more towing capacity with this vehicle as well. As we enter this course, I'm going to go into the rock and dirt setting, which is going to be the most applicable for what we're about to drive through. Okay, we lift up that left front. We're going to take this nice and slow. We don't want to maintain too much momentum. We want to make it hard on purpose. We're not trying to blast through this course. Really impressed with the traction control programming in this vehicle. Look, so left front completely in the air. Picking up the right rear now. Just a little bit of accelerator. Wow, that was in complete EV mode. It didn't even turn on the internal combustion engine till just now. That was awesome. And we also have a true torque converter automatic. It's working at it. Come on, Toyota. Come on. There we go. Very impressed so far. You can really tell that Toyota worked hard on this traction control programming. Maybe they borrowed some of the expertise from like the Tacoma with A-Track, the 4Runner with A-Track. New untested course here, so I'm taking it a little bit easy. Okay, so now we are foot to the floor. We seem to have gotten quite stuck here. That's in the rock and dirt programming. Let's try the mud and sand. This is the hardest part of the course. It's really steep here. Come on, you gotta extend that torque. Man, David made this course harder. Definitely. Let's try normal mode. No. So it definitely seems to be performing the best in the rock and the dirt. Let me come at this from a slightly different approach with just a little bit of momentum. Come on, Toyota. I don't want to take it too fast because I want to bottom it out completely. There we go. Ooh. Well, we appear to be nice and stuck here. The issue is if I take it too fast, I'm at risk of really scraping the other side, and this is not my vehicle, but here, we'll try it with a little bit of momentum. Luckily, transmission's not overheating, not getting any error messages on the dash. Here we go. Oh man. There we go. We gotta be careful with the departure angle. Don't want to tear off one of those shiny new exhausts. Oh, hybrid system overheat. Just got the warning on the dash. Let me take a look, see what we're dealing with on the outside. Well, so the new and improved trenches course has much bigger divots in the earth, and also this new kind of soft soil, which is certainly creating some issues. And this is what I'm worried about over here. If I come down too quick here, I'm actually going to bottom out that rear quarter panel on that shelf there, and I don't want to break Toyota's brand new vehicle. So what I'm going to do is back it down. You know, really good, impressive performance for, I think, snow. Definitely going to get you over the icy parts on your commute. But if you really want to do a little bit more off-roading, you want to look at maybe a 4Runner or Sequoia if you want the big 3-row vehicle. The Grand Highlander works pretty well for light to moderate, but when you start going more than some light service roads, you're going to start running into some issues. Now, if you're thinking, well, other vehicles have performed this test no problem, it's because we made it harder on purpose, because other vehicles were getting through this too easily, and the Toyota is the first to prove that. So I'm going to back it down, and we'll close this puppy up. Very rigid platform though, not getting any body flex, which is quite good. Yeah, it's much harder than it has been in the past, that's for sure. We're really two-wheeling this thing. So after, I don't know, a couple minutes of solid full throttle, eventually the hybrid system did overheat, which is to be more or less expected. We're really pushing this vehicle beyond what it was intended for here. There we go. We made it out, one way or another. Well, overall, guys, I'm very impressed with the Grand Highlander, you know, especially when you consider 362 horsepower, 27 mpg combined, and all that space with a little bit of off-road capability and enough all-wheel drive traction to get you through the snow. This seems to be kind of a winner. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Here's thinking Alex behind the camera. We'll see you in the next video.